가지라고 누군가 툭 한마디 던지면 그렇지 하고 포기할 것 같아. 잘한 거라 토닥이면 왈칵 눈물이 날 것만 같아. 발걸음은 잠시 쉬고 싶은 걸.
하지만 그럴 수 없어. 하나뿐인 걸 지금까지. 내 꿈은 오늘 이 기분 때문에 모든 걸 되돌릴 수 없어. 비교하지 마, 상관하지 마. 누가 그게 옳은 길이래. 옳은 길 따위는 없는 걸. 내가 택한 이곳이 나의 길. 미안해 내 사랑, 너의 자랑이 되고 싶은데 지친 내 하루 위로만 바래. 날 잊는다 토닥이면 왈칵 눈물이 날 것만 같아. 취한 한숨에 걸터 앉은 이 밤.
해낼게 믿어준 대로 하나뿐인 걸 지금까지. 내 꿈은 오늘 이 기분 때문에 모든 걸 되돌릴 수 없어. 비교하지 마, 상관하지 마. 누가 그게 옳은 길이래. 옳은 길 따위는 없는 걸. 내가 좋은 그곳이 나의 길.
부러운 친구의 여유에 질투하지는 마. 순서가 조금 다른 것뿐. 딱 한 잔만큼의 눈물만 뒤끝 없는 푸념들로 버텨줄래. 그날이 올 때까지.
믿어준 대로 해왔던 대로 처음 꿈꿨던 대로 오늘 이 기분 때문에 모든 걸 되돌릴 수 없어. 비교하지 마, 상관하지 마. 누가 그게 옳은 길이래. 옳은 길 따위는 없는 것. 내가 걷는 이곳이 나의 길. 옳은 길 따위는 없는 것.
내가 걷는 이곳이 나의 길.
Good evening. It's Friday, 10 p.m. once again here in New York City, and you're tuning into August Nights right here on FM 92.3 now. And I'm your host for this evening, August Shin. I hope you've been well. Of course, since the first show, we've had an amazing reception, so I just want to take this moment to thank you all so much once again. And of course, there's been a bit of a downtime in between the first episode and today, and that's because we've been busy celebrating the festive month of December and, of course, welcoming the new year. So with that in mind, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish you all a happy, happy new year. I hope 2022 treats you, treats me, treats all of us well because, quite frankly, we need it. The past 2 years has been, let's be frank here, it's been quite a bit of a poo. Yeah, and we need a good year. We need a good year. So 2022, hopefully it treats us all very very well, and I hope the couple of days that's passed since January 1st has been doing you justice as well in that regard. But the opening song choice for our evening today was 지친 하루 or Tired Day by Yoon Chong-shin featuring Kim Phil and Kwak Chin-un. I know it's only our second evening together, but our show is kind of going to go off on a bit of a off schedule and go straight into the unnamed segment. You guys remember that? Where I read out your messages. This is the first message that we've received on our show. And of course, if you guys are unaware, you guys can send me any messages you'd like through our emails at augustnights@gmail.com. And this is the first email that we received. It was a message from a Joseph K from Seoul, South Korea. And I'd love to read this to you right now. Hi, August. My name is Joseph K. I'm a student living in Seoul, and I've been struggling a lot. It's been lonely, and I cannot seem to catch a break. Between school and work, I have no free time to do anything, and living alone is in such a big city is scary. The only thing that I enjoy during the free time is dancing with my friends in the studio, but my parents won't allow it, and I have to dance secretly. I feel like giving up sometimes. Can you please pick some songs for me? Thank you so much. Now, this was the first message I received on this show as a host, and I must say, I was reading this and feeling all sorts of emotions. First things first, thank you, Joseph. I was extremely thankful for this message, of course, but also at the same time, I felt so horrible and so sad for Joseph because a young man feeling the burdens and stresses of life is one thing, as we all may have witnessed that or experienced at one point in our lives, but to deal with it alone is extremely difficult, and it's such a isolated, sad feeling. So I feel for Joseph. And the story of Joseph, I'm sure, that he shared with us today is one that many can resonate with across the world, especially in Korea. A lot of our youthful generation, our young adults, especially in college, even before college, in high school, the curriculum in Korea is one that's very stressful and very difficult. So I definitely feel for Joseph and many of our young ladies and gentlemen out there who are struggling and having a tough time. So today I figured, with this mission for Joseph in mind, I've selected a few songs which I know have helped people in the past, including myself, of course. And these songs I know have helped many get through dark and difficult times. And you know the power of music, and you know why we're here tonight. So we'll talk some more about Joseph and about how I've been feeling in the songs and whatnot. But for now, here's the second song of the evening, and this song is called 흰 수염 고래 by Yoon Do-hyun, and you're listening to it here now on FM 92.3 now.
작은 연못에서 시작된 길 바다로 갈 수 있음 좋겠네. 어쩌면 그 험한 길에 지칠지 몰라. 걸어도 더딘 발걸음에 너 가는 길이 너무 지치고 힘들 때 말을 해줘. 숨기지 마. 너는 자가 아니야. 우리도 언젠가 흰 수염고래처럼 헤엄쳐 두려움 없이 넓은 세상 살아갈 수 있는 그런 사람이기. 봤지만 이젠 울지마 웃어봐 너 가는 길이 너무 지치고 힘들 때 말을 해줘 숨기지 마 너로 자가 아니야 우리도 언젠가 흰 수염 모래처럼 헤엄쳐 두려움 없이 넓은 세상 살아갈 수 있는 그런 사람 이끌어 가는 길이 너무 지치고 힘들 때 말을 해줘 숨기지 마 너로 자가 아니야 우리도 언젠가 흰 수염 고래처럼 헤엄쳐 두려움 없이 넓은 세상 살아갈 수 있는 그런 사람이길 그런 사람이길
Yoon Do-hyun, in some degree, has to be considered a legend in the rock and music world in Korea, shouldn't he? I mean, he's so well received by many of his peers, especially these days, as a senior figure in that Korean music world. But during his prime years with YB, the YB band, he shook the hearts of many, and I'm most certainly positive for both men and women. I certainly felt the vibes when I used to rely on Yoon Do-hyun quite a bit during my younger days. And of course, I'm trying so hard not to sound like an old fart, but yes, when Yoon Do-hyun was in his prime during the early and late 2000s, man, that was his best. And with this in mind, I want to share a moment in my life in 2011 during the most difficult years of my life where I literally felt everything leave me from my parents, my girlfriend, my college scores, my part-time job. Everything felt distant for me. And this song, 흰수염 고래, which was released in 2011, was so powerful in terms of giving myself a sense of clarity, giving myself a sense of healing. And yeah, I know it's a song and whatnot, but for me, the music has power to do anything. And for me, it was such a healing, relieving song. And I think while the last years of my tens and my teens was one of the most painful years, I think it was also one of my most rewarding years in my life. And it was rewarding to me because those were the times. Of course, when you're at that age, you're very young and you're reckless and you're learning about the reality that is life. And you don't want to go through that alone. And like I said, it was very painful to me, but it was also very rewarding because through the pain, I was able to gain another level of love and create this stronger bond of brotherhood and friendship with a lot of my friends that I still keep in contact with today. And I think that's very, very important when you need to struggle. Not when you need to struggle, or when you are struggling in life and you need somebody or somebody's shoulder to lean on, because this world is tough out there. People like Joseph, people like myself when I was in college, we all struggle. Nobody's perfect and nobody's invincible. Everybody's going to have to go through some sort of turmoil in their life. And there's nothing better than having strong, reliable, trustworthy, sometimes idiotic friends to keep on your side. But I'll talk to you guys more about it when we come back. For now, here's song number 3. And this song is Verbal Jit featuring Benzino called 시발점. And you're listening to it right here on FM 92.3 now.
시발점 yeah 시발점 헬로 20살은 아님 넌 경제학에 관심 하나도 없으면서 그과 왜 가니 그니까 네가 대학 생활이 붕 떴단 생각이 들고 한국 최고의 교수님들의 명강의들도 흥미가 안 가는 거겠지 아마 하지만 흐릿하게 시간만 죽이며 멍하게 있다간 후회하게 될걸 너는 고등학생이야 나 미래의 너 자신에게 미안한 일을 만들지 않았으면 해 수능 보기 몇 주 전에 라디오에서 갱톨릭에게 칭찬받았던 랩 꽤 인상적이던데 뭐 닫고 집어 천재까지 몰라도 꽤 소질 있어 보여 그 방면에 너만큼 세련되게 랩하는 사람이 없거든 게다가 너만큼 다양한 음악을 접한 녀석은 문자 그대로 희귀종이니까 더 깊숙이 파고 들어가봐 혹시 네가 몇 년이 흐르고 난 후 이 바닥에 큰 나무 같은 사람이 될지 누가 알아 지금은 아무 느낌이 안 오겠지 물론 너 혼자 힘으로 어려울 수도 있어 그러니까 너와 같은 취미로 사람들이 막 모여있는 곳 그런 곳에 가봐 여지껏 모르고 살아본 세상과 만나게 될걸 그리고 2년쯤 후면 음반을 내는 거야 제목은 마던 라임스 적극 추천 손때탄 공채가 가득히 써내려간 라임 그땐 당시 알아듣지 못했지만 어렵게 구한 CD들로 배우고 익혀내본 또의 lyrics and flow 손때탄 공채가 가득히 써내려간 라임 불가능이 하나 둘씩 현실로 바뀌는 건 안 봤지 그건 지금도 마찬가지
에어 what's up 16살인 성빈 넌 어서 여길 벗어나고 싶지 경기도 양평군 서정묘문 호리에서 볼 수 있는 건 논두렁과 오직 산과 강이 있는 총구석 파이 그와 어울리게 귀에는 마른 라이스 3XL 무지 TA 태원에서 산 검은색 둘에게 바지 허리 둘레는 약 34 or 36 You're looking for a dirty bitch 근데 하필 네 여친은 혼전의 순결을 지키려고 하는 Catholic But you want her to lick your dick 또 욕심 부르지마 해본 적도 없으면서 kiss 치마 한 가지 piece of your mind 너무 서두를 필요는 없어 임마 진짜 원하는 게 있고 그게 어거지가 아닌 진정한 것이라면 다 얻어지니까 너가 부러워하는 래퍼들 또 잘나가는 형들 의식하지 말고 계속 keep up your vibes 진짜 원하는 게 있고 그게 어거지가 아닌 진정한 것이라면 다 얻어지니까 yeah
손때탄 공채가 가득히 써내려간 라임 그땐 당시 알아듣지 못했지만 어렵게 구한 CD들로 배우고 익혀내본 또의 lyrics and flow 손때탄 공채가 가득히 써내려간 라임 불가능이 하나 둘씩 현실로 바뀌는 건 안 봤지 그건 지금도 마찬가지
Welcome back. I have a definition here for you from Naver Dictionary, as Naver defines 시발점 as a departing point or starting point. And I think this song by Verbal Gent featuring Benzino is such an underappreciated track because, first of all, I love that Verbal Gent asks Benzino to feature on this track because both Verbal Gent and Benzino are two rappers or two Korean artists in the music space that graduated from a very prestigious college in Korea known as Seoul National University, or Seoulde for short. It is one of the top 3 of the infamous SKY universities. And both of them graduated. I think Verbal Gent graduated with a degree in economics, and Benzino, of course, I think he graduated with a degree in sculpture. You know, this is what I'm talking about. You have to be prepared. You have to be prepared, August. But yes, both of them graduated from Seoul National University, a very prestigious school. And Verbal Jin in particular graduated with a degree that's far from the arts. He graduated with an economics degree, and he ended up just giving it all up and pursuing a career in music. And whether you think he's been successful as a musician or not, I personally think he's been a fantastic musician for the Korean music world. And as a senior figure now, I believe he's 41. He is at that age where he is considered a senior in that space. But nonetheless, he's a very treasured artist, at least for me personally, because he definitely describes many moments in his life that lets the listener know that life can always take you somewhere completely different from where you started. And 시발점, this track, did exactly that. And I know Joseph won't benefit all that much from this song because he's going through a bit of a different phase in his life. But Joseph, if you're listening, I want you to know this, that sometimes, following your heart and doing what you want is much more important than anything else in this world because, of course, that might sound irrational and risky, but I don't know how much you want to take dancing seriously. I don't know if it's just like a hobby on the side and whatnot, but if you want to try it and do it on a next level basis where you want to take it a little bit more seriously, or you feel like you value and treasure the time that you have dancing with your friends more than anything else that you're doing in your life right now, at least you owe it to yourself to try, right? I think that's more important. And so that when you've given it your all and you know that this is where you want to draw the line, at least when you meet the next crossroads in your life, you'll have less regret in that regard, and you won't turn back to see how far you've come. I think the element of having no regret is very, very important. And of course, it's much more easier said than done, Joseph, because I'm sure the schedules are extremely ridiculous, but sometimes you just need to bite the bullet and you just need to let yourself be yourself. So if there's anything that you can do to make yourself feel better, whether it be changing your schedule or taking one less extracurricular activity, whether your parents might agree with it or not, search in your feelings, think about it some more, speak to your friends about it, and when you get to a point that you can make that decision for yourself, I think that's the most important part of this whole experience at your point in your life right now, my man. And I hope today has been a bit rewarding for you, Joseph. I hope I've done justice in some degree in terms of picking the right songs, but I hope you rely on your friends, like I said, to help you search for any answers that you're looking for. If you're struggling, lean on them for support, lean on them for emotional support, for physical support, any kind of support. If you just want to go out and have a meal, call them out. And maybe some of your friends might be idiots, just like many of my friends, but I promise you and trust me, the ones that you trust the most and the ones that you hold dear to your heart the most, they're the ones that will help and guide you along the way. And I promise you, it'll all be worth it in the end. And with that in mind, I'd like to leave tonight with the last song of our evening, a song I recently enjoyed so much, and quite frankly, I teared up quite a bit listening to this. It's a beautiful song. It's escaping, and it's healing. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, everybody. Good night, everyone. And tonight, we will end with 도망가자, or Let's Run Away by 선우정아. Thank you so much. Bye.
도망가자 어디든 가야 할 것만 같아 넌 금방이라도 올 것 같아 괜찮아 우리 가자 걱정은 잠시 내려놓고 대신 가볍게 짐을 챙기자 실컷 웃고 다시 돌아오자 거기서는 우리 아무 생각 말자 너랑 있을게 이렇게 손 내밀면 내가 잡을게 있을까 두려울 게 어디를 간다 해도 우린 서로를 꼭 붙잡고 있으니 너라서 나는 충분해 나를 봐 눈 맞춰줄래 너의 얼굴 위에 빛이 스며들 때까지 가보자 지금 나랑 도망